My greatest asset in my field is the fact that I don't look like your ordinary, everyday philosophy professor. I use that every day. And when I go through the airport, and for years I've been stopped in the airport, I wonder why. The police out there have been going, what do you do exactly? And I tell them, I'm a professor of philosophy. And they will go, sure, and I'm Napoleon Bonaparte. So I set up a little experiment, namely to say something different. So I started saying, I'm a blacksmith. And they would say, sure you are. Here, go walk right through. No problem. Here you go. No problem. So what seemed to be my greatest disadvantage, namely the fact that I did not look like what I am, turned out to be my greatest asset. Because when I walked through the rooms today out here, seeing you eating lunch, some of you took notice of me, and you went, what the hell is he doing here? Nobody asked for a bouncer or a bodyguard to come here tonight. But you can use that in your business model. I don't like Hugo Boss suits too much. They're okay. I like Oxford Street suits from London better, but be that as it may. I don't have any particular relation to Coco Chanel's products since I don't use them. But wouldn't it be refreshing if Hugo Boss joined up or teamed up with Chanel to say, besides selling fashion clothing and perfume, we're going to see if we can chip in to solving the problem in the Middle East. I would be like, hello. That one I hadn't seen. Give me a couple of Hugo Boss suits. Oh, and add a couple of perfumes too while we're at it. Okay, that was a joke. It wasn't too good, but it was there. You understand what I'm saying? The interesting thing is not to give people what they expect. Clearly, any one of your clients will expect something out of you. They're going to get it. But what if your ambition was a little more than that? And since there is a narrative about each one and every one of you in your business, when I drove into the parking lot, the number of Audis and Maserati was almost uncountable. And I go, I know who these guys are. That's not necessarily true. It's not necessarily true that that is the way you are. But there is a narrative out there about you. And the public has a narrative about you. And given the financial crunch, the narrative is not too cool. It's about you being profit maximizers. You were part of creating a havoc in the financial world and so forth and so forth. It's not necessarily true. It's probably not true, but it's a narrative. And in the information age, narratives are very easy to make robust. Likes and upvotes are cost-neutral gestures on the social media, and in and by themselves, they don't matter. But aggregated, they might mean quite a bit. And so all of you are afraid of a shitstorm, and for good reason, even if there's nothing to it, okay? So don't come and tell me that it doesn't mean anything to you what narratives others have about you. But the great thing about narratives, they're like expectations. They only serve one purpose, to get disappointed. How do you disappoint a narrative? How do you reinvent yourself in ways where you go, hello, I hadn't seen that coming? Try to think like people around you think. Try to think about the narrative they have about you. And then try to think exactly how can I surprise, still keep my business model, and yet offer people something that they haven't quite seen. And when I say carpe diem, I mean that seriously. It's a classical Latin virtue. Now, there are many things you can carpe diem on. The least ambitious being in business is making money. After all, if that was your only interest, why are you doing whatever it is you do? Why don't you just sell minds? Why don't you just sell weapons or porn? So Stone's your business model. It's always going to be around, and you can always make money on it. You just don't want to do it, and for good reason. You don't think it's good business. You don't think it might be good business, but it's not right business. So you're already more ambitious than just making money. Now, why not think about that? You know, my son, I got the Elite Research Prize once, okay? Well, the biggest prize, you can get like a Nobel Prize in Denmark. Now, good. And it was all over the news. And my son, he was 8 years old at that time. He was standing in the bathroom, taking a leak, and he goes, he had heard that on the news that I got that prize, and he goes, "Pop, let me ask you one thing. What is it that you do, and why is it important?" That's a good question. And I better have something intelligent to say, not only for my son, but for the taxpayer who's paying me a bundle of money to do the job I do. And it's not only to teach students. I do something more than that. I'm part of shaping the next generation. I have to think about it on a daily basis. Because just doing my job, teaching my classes, that's at least what they can expect. Making changes is what is important.
Good answer. What are we doing today that will be completely different in 10 years, in your opinion?
All the ones who don't have a proper ambition of making a change in this world are going to lose.